Alright, hello and welcome back. So, Jin and his rather battered and bruised companions are in the pocket plane, having defeated at great cost two of the groups of guardians protecting the seals to the vault containing the imprisoned one. Of course, last time, in addition to the loss of Aerie, Imoen, Aerie, and Minsk, to the imprisonment spell, the hands of the Demi-Lich. We also lost Keldorn to the same hated spell, which I did a bit more reading on, and basically it's horrible. The effect is that the victim is permanently trapped in a small sphere in suspended animation, in a small sphere just beneath the earth where they stood. And they would remain trapped unless if the spell is dispelled. They would remain trapped for as long as the earth remains, which is rather horrible. And the spell is particularly nasty because it allows no saving throws and it bypasses magic resistance, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but seems like there's essentially no defense. Once the spell has been cast at you, there is no escape. There's no prevention. There's only one cure, and of course that cure is the Freedom Scroll, or the Freedom Spell, a level 9 spell that Jin has been hunting for, desperately trying to recover his lost companions. So, I guess I'll be honest. At the end of the last session, I was kind of, well, demoralized, because I just kept on losing more and more people, and we're literally running out of companions Jin could recruit. So, as much as I've tried to blindly and bravely go on, in the vague hope that we'll find a Freedom Scroll at some stage in the Watcher's Keep, it was getting pretty desperate. I don't know what happens when we unlock the third seal, but I'm expecting another group of Guardians, and then after that we potentially have to fight whatever is being held in the vault. Judging by how powerful the Guardians are, the creature or whatever inside, demon possibly, I'd be surprised if it's anything weaker. If it's yeah, I mean, even a dragon would be considered weak at this stage. So, given that, I don't feel confident that if we don't find a way of freeing at least some of our companions, I don't feel confident that I could continue the game. So, So for the first time since starting this Let's Play, I kind of bent my rules a bit, and I went and looked at Tor's videos for the battle against the Demi-Lich. Of course, in the Misadventures of Lily Black, and I noticed that he had actually gone to Watcher's Keep at an earlier level in I think Chapter 6 of Shadows of Alm, and his party also suffered. I think, I can't remember who it was, but one individual was also trapped by imprisonment by the Demi-Lich. And the difference being, compared to Jin's party, however, was Lily did have the Freedom Scroll, and then given that this was before Throne of Woe, that meant she must have, or rather Tor must have found it somewhere in Shadows of Alm. And that worried me even more, because it meant that I must have missed the scroll somewhere in the main game, and then in that case potentially there's no Freedom Scroll at all in Throne of Woe, and then there will be no way of rescuing any of the companions who have been lost to imprisonment. And furthermore, I mean, we're already running into the spell quite regularly, so there's no reason why it won't be a problem in the future. So because of that, I almost contemplated reloading before the battle against the Demi-Lich, which I have not uploaded yet onto YouTube. Of course, that's quite a big waste of everything I've recorded up to this point, and also if I sort of reloaded and did everything from that point onwards, it's kind of a lie on the blind playthrough thing. So I kind of broke my own rules eventually, and finally metaphorically called a friend, or rather just went and asked a more experienced player of the game that I know from the forums And what he told me was basically there is no freedom scroll in the Watcher's Keep, but there is one in Saradush. Apparently there's a merchant there that I somehow missed. What I don't know, or rather he couldn't remember, is how many freedom scrolls the merchant has. So at this stage I can potentially recover, well, I basically need, I think if I only find one scroll, then I can only recover Aerie and Imoen, which will mean in the future that I have to be extremely careful about imprisonment spells. If I can find 2 scrolls, then hopefully Imoen can learn, well, I can use one to rescue Imoen and then teach Imoen freedom so that she can then rescue everybody else. So there would be hope for everyone in that case. But yeah, essentially I decided to abandon my my dedication to playing blind for the time being, because it was just getting too depressing and too demoralizing to continue blind. So now I know there is hope, and the hope lies in Saradush. Of course, for a long time I've been sort of blindly pressing on in the Watcher's Keep, partly because it took me a while to realize how conveniently we can travel between places with the pocket plane, and partly because I typically try to do things all in one go where possible. But I think I'll make an exception in this case. And I guess from a role-playing perspective, there's the other problem. As far as Jin is aware, he's about to enter the vault of the imprisoned one and cast a sealing spell. Now, I'm not sure how that sealing spell works, but potentially we may not be able to return to the keep, which would be pretty disastrous. Jin would not want to permanently seal in all of his loved ones and companions in the keep, and of course an honored comrade in Keldorn. So I think before he does the ritual, he's going to search far and wide in looking for a freedom scroll to try and rescue his friends first. So sorry for a rather long rant at the beginning of this, explaining why I've done what I've done and the decision that I've made. I hope none of you find it too objectionable. I honestly, I just at the end of the last session, I thought my options were either reload to before the Damulich battle, or just or do what I've done, basically try and find out if there is indeed a freedom scroll somewhere in Thronal Bowl. So apparently the freedom scroll is in Saradush, and there's a merchant I have missed. So instead of recruiting anybody else, I think Jin will just summon a... Oh wait, sorry, not the portal, we're already in the portal. Yeah, we'll just go straight to Saradush. Mazzy's a bit injured, but we're not really expecting to fight. Yeah, we should go to Saradush.
What is considered?
Oh, okay, forgot about that. Okay. Man, that's a lot of damage. Okay. I think we'll run for cover first in the tavern. I guess it's been nice, assuming I can somehow recover those who've been lost to imprisonment. It's nice that we've traveled with these other companions for a while, but certainly it would be good to get the main crew back. Okay, do we have healing spells? Heal Mazzy. There's quite a noticeable power gap between
I shall go forth at your command.
Well, the likes of Imoen and Nalia, for example.
I'm still
Not to mention all the equipment that we're missing, like the Staff of Magi, the Robe of Vecna.
Point the sword, and I shall strike. I'll aid you. I stand amongst the righteous.
Oh, and of course, I was also very worried about the fact that Nadia is not a particularly good thief. So for the end game, in terms of traps, finding them, I don't know if she would have been sufficient. Alright, well, I'm pretty sure we did check with this innkeeper.
I got some cheap beer for you.
And I don't remember him having any scrolls. I'm sure if he had scrolls, I would have tried to buy them. Yeah, it's all weapons. Armor, and I think this is stuff we've sold him before. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's not him.
Very well.
Yes, General Ascalon. Although I'm pretty sure when we were looking for a it's Recon. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when we were looking for a way into the castle of Saradush, we did speak to pretty much everybody here. Hecton. Strangers, do you know how Jin wants to ask about Melisande? I assure you, my lord, I know nothing of that. Okay. Always polite at least. I think these are the elves and dwarves, probably still squabbling away. And I think these were these obviously courtesans. I'd be surprised if they sold anything, other than their obvious services.
You need a new tailor. Your clothes are absolutely dreadful.
I promise a knight you'll remember the rest of your life. Only 50 coin. Oh yeah, Jin is not interested. He's even though Aerie is no longer here, he has no intention of betraying her while she's away. No, I don't think we'll quite. I'd be very surprised if find a random freedom scroll there. Oh, this is the room I never noticed before. Hopefully this is the merchant then. Okay.
Yes, a tab. Another ale, young miss. I'll be sure to have your funds ready.
Young miss, did you just say? I think Jen appreciates that. But it's Volo, I think he's a bard, I think? I'm not sure. I've got the GOG, GOG manual for the download of Baldur's Gate 2. And I think in Baldur's Gate 1 as well. it's supposedly written by him. So I think he's a fairly famous individual in the Dungeons & Dragons lore, but I doubt he's the merchant we're looking for. Yeah, Volo, what are you doing here? Come now, surely you know that wherever history is being made, I, Volo, will be there to chronicle events. You don't become the most famous historian, so he's a historian, most famous historian on Faerun without finding yourself right in the thick of things. Of course, this time I'm a little closer than I normally like to get, but don't worry about me. I always find a way out to get out of these tight situations. Well, I guess Jim would see what he can do for this famous Volo. Of course, he's doing this in the hopes that Volo would help him with his dire predicament here. Oh no, Jin, the question is, what can I do for you? Of course, the answer, of course, is immortalize you and your companions in my historical records. Here's a little preview of what I've got so far. Raised as a child in the cloistered confines of Candlekeep, Jin emerged from these humble beginnings to become one of the most powerful mortals to ever set foot upon the face of Toril. Saving the city of Baldur's Gate, defeating the mad mage John Aranicus, preserving the Tree of Life, such heroic accomplishments are mere footnotes in the epic tale of Jin, the greatest of the children of Baal. It's certainly very flattering. That's just a small taste of my entry on your exploits. Of course, the ending is not yet complete, and this is still a first draft, but you get the idea. And that's not all. If you care to listen, I can give you a small preview of what I'm going to say about those who have the glory of adventuring with you. Oh, That's interesting. You would prefer to be normal companions for this. Sure, let's hear what you've got. Hopefully Volo will hang around. Yeah, we'll start with the obvious one, Imoen. As one of Helm's most powerful servants on the mortal planes, Imoen Delrin's legendary bravery, his skill in battle, and his devotion to his god are both a scourge to the evil and an inspiration to his brethren within the Order of the Radiant Heart. Alright, Mazzy. Never has a member of the halfling race stood taller and prouder than the most valiant of Avarine's faithful warriors. The stout Mazzy Fenton has earned a legendary amount of fame serving the cause of good. If ever there was to be a paladin beyond the ranks of humanity, no warrior could be purer of heart. James certainly agrees with that. But Nalia, this will be interesting. Nalia has grown from the roguish young daughter of the Darnese Duke, barely trained in magical arts, to one of the most fearsome mages to grace the land. Lady Nalia challenges the likes of Elminster, and I don't know who that is, for both power and a desire to do good. Alright. And Baldur? The last member of Orm's infamous Corthala family has made an even greater impression than his necromantic ancestor. The grim Valgar's prowess as a ranger, the likes of which have only been told in the oldest of legends, cannot be denied. Single-handedly, the ranger may turn what was considered a cursed bloodline into one of the most respected names in Orm. Alright, think I've heard enough. Thank you, Jin. I can't begin to tell you how pleased I am to meet you, while you are in the middle of an adventure that will change the shape of the realms. Truly I hope, and only hope, I can do your tale justice. That was a nice distraction. Is that a cat? No, it's a rat. It's a bit random. Okay. Well, everyone's healed up.
What is my task?
Stone skin.
I can assist you.
On my arm. Done.